One of the folks that I've had an opportunity to work with is a retired Rear Vice Admiral. And if you know the structure in the Navy, that's pretty high, right? He was in charge of battleship and actually the marketing side and hobnobbing with some politicians like Hillary Clinton and taking them and showing them the ship and getting funding and things like that. Well, this individual was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And what I want you guys to understand is Parkinson's is not an identity. It's a diagnosis. And for someone like this person, it can be devastating, right? And so what you need to realize is there are things and steps that you can take to prolong it. Now, you're not going to get out of it. None of us are going to get out of this trip alive, right? And that's just the harsh reality of it. But there are things you can do to make it a little bit smoother. Best thing you can do is exercise. Also, boxing. Now, why would boxing be beneficial for someone with Parkinson's?
Balance.
You got balance, that's right. But also, think about the brain, okay? Think about the combinations and the thinking and the critical thinking skills you need to be able to receive instructions and then execute the movement. We talk in here about Balance University and how this is structured, right? In a very specific way so that by the time we get to the fourth pillar, the balance pillar, we have chemicals in our brain that are going to help us memorize our body positioning so that we can recognize when we're off tilt or when our center of mass is off balance before we pass that threshold. All right? So, number one thing, exercise with Parkinson's. You're doing that not only for your health, but you're doing it for your brain. This guy, very interesting individual. He has coins to mark every little event that he was participant of. And I guarantee you, I've never seen this many medallions in my life. He probably has 200 of these medallions and they're all piled up. And so I asked him one time, I said, why don't we take those and put them up in a shadow box or something? And maybe one day. But I've been able to work, and when we started, he could not stand on one foot. And you guys know, British Journal of Sports Medicine tells us if you can't stand on one foot for more than 10 seconds, your life expectancy is 10 years or less. The good news is we can change that, right? And that's what we did. In about 6 months, I was able to take Bob from standing on one foot. He was able to get on a Bosu ball. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Some people call it the half moon. And actually get him to stand on the Bosu ball, assisted of course, and he's able to stand on it for about 20 to 30 seconds at a time, right? Pretty great stuff, unassisted. Now, standing on one foot, he can do that for about 11, 12 seconds consistently, all right? So we're just past that threshold, but here's the thing. Balance, fitness, addressing Parkinson's, that's going to be like learning a new language. It's something you're going to have to do every day, all right? So I'm your motivator. I'm the person holding you accountable, and that's what I'm going to do in here. I'm going to make sure you do your homework. While we're on it, how many of you did your homework? Good. So at the end of class, I'll give you some homework, and then the expectation is that you do it. Now, don't forget the YouTube channel. We have the Fall Prevention Homework Series, 2 exercises in 2 minutes, all right? Go to Emeritus Health. Go to YouTube, type in Emeritus Health in the search bar. You'll see my face, minus the beard, minus the hair, right? I looked clean shaven, all right? And you'll be able to scroll through these playlists and you'll find the Fall Prevention Homework Series, all right? If you forget the homework here, that's a tool for you to access, okay? All right.
Does Admiral live down here?
He does.
Because there are boxing programs down here. My husband had Parkinson's.
Oh, yeah.
So I know that they
Yep.
have the program.
He is very much involved in the name of the program, guys. It's called Rock Steady Boxing. It's a fantastic program. In fact, we took Balance University and there were some things they did and we modeled some of the business side after Rock Steady Boxing. But then I have another individual that has Parkinson's and we actually box at home. He doesn't want to go to the gym. So there's definitely ways around it. You just have to have the motivation. All right. Good, good. Any questions? All right, let's rock and roll. Let's have you stand. Let's move behind your chairs.